Sometimes life seems like a puzzle without a guiding image. No matter how hard we try, there's always something missing, a void that success, relationships, or money can't fill. But what if I told you there's a key, ancient, powerful, forgotten by many, that can redefine everything? I'm not talking about magic formulas. I'm talking about a radical decision, a reversal of values. You're not here today by chance. You're here because your soul cries out for direction. And this direction begins when you decide to place God at the center of everything. Before continuing, pause for a second. If this quest resonates with you, make it clear now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and comment below. I choose God above all else. This isn't just a digital action. It's an act of faith. Because you never know who you can reach with a simple public declaration of hope. Let's build something eternal. Let's begin. There's a throne inside your heart. Whether you're aware of it or not, someone or something is sitting there calling the shots, shaping your priorities, directing your reactions. We live in a world that teaches us to fight for that throne ourselves, to rule, to control, to conquer. But what if that's exactly why we feel overwhelmed, anxious, hollow despite our constant motion? The truth is, we were never meant to occupy that seat. That throne belongs to God. And until He takes His rightful place, nothing else will align. Not your peace, not your purpose, not your future. Placing God first isn't a catchy phrase for Sunday mornings. It's not a decorative verse on a coffee mug. It's a complete reordering of life. It means waking up and asking not, what do I want today? But, what does He want through me? It's choosing alignment over ambition, surrender over strategy, worship over worry. And that choice isn't always comfortable. It's raw, it's exposing, but it's also the most liberating decision you'll ever make. Because when God is first, everything else finds its rightful place. Let's be honest. Our natural instinct is to push God to the margins. We fit Him between deadlines, notifications, and fatigue. But what if, instead, He became the blueprint, the reference point for every other commitment? Imagine reshaping your entire schedule around time with Him. Not as a task, but as the core. That shift doesn't just change your routine, it changes your reason for waking up. It ignites clarity. It invites peace. It silences the noise of expectation and awakens divine direction. Think of a puzzle without the box image. You try to force pieces together, hoping something will make sense. That's how life feels without God at the center. But when He becomes the image on the box, our source, our model, suddenly the pieces begin to fit. The scattered edges of career, family, identity, finances, dreams, they don't disappear, but they finally align. Not perfectly, but purposefully. That's the difference of a God-first life. Not absence of chaos, but presence of coherence. Still, let's not pretend this journey is easy. Every day, your flesh will resist surrender. Your emotions will crave control. The world will whisper, "You're doing fine on your own." But placing God first is a daily war against ego. It's a declaration that you are not the author of your story, but the ink in His hands. And in that surrender, something extraordinary happens. You begin to breathe differently, walk differently, love differently, because your life no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the one who gave it. Some might ask, but how do I know if God is really first in my life? You'll see it in your mornings, in whether prayer or Instagram comes first. You'll feel it in your decisions, in whether you seek Him before or after the mess. You'll notice it in your finances, in whether generosity or greed guides your giving. You'll hear it in your thoughts, in your patience, in your resistance to temptation. A God-centered life is not perfect, but it is unmistakable, because it bears fruit that no hustle can produce. And maybe you've tried. Maybe you've said the prayers, read the verses, shown up at church, but you still feel distant. Still disconnected. Hear me. You are not broken. You are in a battle. The pull to put yourself back on that throne is relentless. That's why this isn't a one-time choice. It's 1,000 little choices that slowly shift the throne back to God. It's in the whisper, "I trust you," when nothing makes sense. It's in the tears on the steering wheel when you say, "Not my will, but yours." That is the sacred fight. And you're not fighting it alone. Maybe no one ever told you this before, but God is not interested in being a part of your life. He's not applying for a position on your list of priorities. He is the list. He is the source. And when we try to build our identity, relationships, or future without him as the foundation, we're not just misaligned. We're at risk of collapse. The storms will come. The winds will howl. The pressure will mount. And if he's not first, everything else will fall. But when he's the cornerstone, nothing can shake what's built on him. Look at Scripture. Look at Abraham, standing on a mountain, knife in hand, heartbreaking, yet trusting. Look at Daniel, refusing to bow, choosing lions over compromise. Look at Esther, risking her life to save a nation. These weren't superheroes. They were humans, just like you. Their secret wasn't strength, it was surrender. Their power came not from perfection, but from their posture. They placed God first, even when it cost them everything. And in return, they gained everything that matters. Let's bring this home. What would your relationships look like if God came first? What would your marriage reflect if it was shaped by grace instead of pride? How would your parenting change if your children saw you seek God before they saw you seek success? What kind of peace would fill your home if the atmosphere was set by prayer, not pressure? These aren't fantasies. They're the result of realignment, of pushing aside the noise and saying, God, reign here, not just on Sundays, every day. And your work. Don't think that placing God first means abandoning your goals. It means refining them, aligning them with eternity, showing up with integrity, serving with humility, choosing excellence not for applause, but as worship. Imagine doing your job with the awareness that God is watching, not to punish but to partner. Imagine the impact of leading, working, and building with His Spirit guiding every task. That's not just a job. That's a calling. That's influence with purpose. Your finances tell a story too. Where your treasure is, there your heart is. If God is first, your generosity will reflect it. Not because you're trying to earn His love, but because you've already been lavished with it. Giving becomes joy, not obligation. Stewardship becomes sacred, not stressful. Because you know every dollar you hold is a tool for the kingdom, not a trophy for the self. You start making decisions not just based on can I afford this, but does this honor God? And when the battles come, and they will, your reaction will tell the truth. Do you panic or pray? Do you run to people or to His presence? The first place you turn reveals who truly sits on the throne of your heart. And let me say this gently but clearly. If God isn't your first response, He's probably not your first priority. But the beautiful news is, it's never too late to switch places. To step down from the throne and invite the true King to take it. Let this sink in. You're not just choosing a new lifestyle, you're choosing a new Lord. And that choice won't always be popular. It won't always feel natural, but it will always be worth it. Because when God is first, everything else can follow. Peace follows, purpose follows, people follow. And in the end, your legacy won't be about what you built, but who you lived for. This is your invitation to stop surviving and start surrendering. Today, right now. Maybe you've never made this decision before. Maybe you've been circling around the idea, knowing deep down something needed to change, but you didn't know where to start. This is the moment. Not because you're ready, but because God is. He's been waiting, not with anger, but with open arms, waiting for you to surrender the throne, to hand Him the keys, to say, God, I don't want to lead anymore. I want you. That one decision will redefine everything. Not just your eternity, but your everyday. Placing God first is not a motivational slogan. It's not a quick fix. It's a revolution of the soul. It's about rising every morning and choosing again and again to live for someone greater than yourself. It's where anxiety loses its grip, where identity becomes rooted, where joy stops depending on circumstances. When God is first, the storms still come, but they don't drown you. The chaos still roars, but it doesn't control you. Because your anchor isn't in what's happening, it's in who's reigning. If this message spoke to you, don't just watch in silence. Act. Take a public step of faith right now. Inscribe it into your digital footprint. Subscribe to this channel and follow Jesus. Comment below, I choose God first. Let your declaration echo into the lives of others. Your step could be someone else's signpost. Your surrender could be someone else's awakening. Faith isn't meant to be private. It's meant to shine. And this is your moment to shine for the one who gave you everything. And this journey is just beginning. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep growing. Surround yourself with truth. If this content is helping you align your life with God's heart, stay connected. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming. We're building more than videos here. We're building a movement. A family of people who have chosen the narrow road. Who know it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. This is not just a channel. It's a space for the surrendered. My name is Oliver. I'm not here as a preacher above you, but as a brother beside you. I've made the mistakes. I've wrestled with pride. I've fought for the throne of my own heart more times than I'd like to admit. But I've also seen what happens when Jesus truly becomes first, when he's not just part of the story, but the author of it. I want that for you. Not because it's religious, because it's real, and because it changes everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your heart, for listening, for daring to go deeper. I don't take it lightly. This space we've shared, this sacred ground of truth, it matters. And I'm honored to walk this journey with you. Wherever you are in the world, whatever your story has been, know this: you're seen, you're loved, and you're called to more. Don't stop here. Keep seeking. Keep choosing him. Every day. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, anchored in grace, and bold in faith. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, when God is first, nothing is ever truly lost, only transformed.